Have you ever dreamed of traveling to a new country, but felt your heart race at the thought of speaking English? I get it. I was there too. My first time speaking English while traveling was a wild ride full of funny mistakes, nervous moments, and lessons that changed how I learned forever. Want to know the best part? You don't need perfect English to shine. In this video, I'm sharing my story and 6 super easy steps to help you speak English confidently on your next adventure. Trust me, if I could do it, so can you. So, stick with me, and let's jump in to discover how you can make your travel dreams come true with English. Chapter 1. My first nervous words abroad. Hi everyone, welcome to the first chapter of our journey, my first nervous words abroad. Let me take you back to my very first time traveling to a new country where I had to speak English. Oh, it was such an adventure, full of excitement and honestly, a lot of nerves. I remember stepping off the plane, my heart pounding like a drum. I was so excited to explore, but also so scared to open my mouth and speak English. What if no one understood me? What if I said something wrong? If you've ever felt that fear, you're not alone. Today, I'm sharing my story, some funny moments, and 3 super easy phrases that helped me survive my first trip. Plus, I'll give you simple tips to feel confident speaking English while traveling. Let's dive in. Picture this. I'm at a big, busy airport in a new country. There are people everywhere, signs in English, and announcements I can barely understand. I needed to find the exit to catch a bus, but I didn't know where to go. I saw a friendly-looking airport worker and decided to ask for help. My hands were shaky, and my voice felt stuck in my throat. I took a deep breath and said, "Where? Exit?" Oh no, it came out all wrong. I forgot the word is and sounded so nervous. The worker looked confused for a second, then smiled and pointed me in the right direction. I felt my face turn red, but I also felt a tiny spark of pride. I did it. I spoke English, even if it wasn't perfect. That moment taught me something important. You don't need perfect English to communicate. You just need to try. Why is speaking English abroad so hard for beginners? Let me tell you, I learned this the hard way. First, there's the fear of making mistakes. I was so worried about saying the wrong word or sounding silly. Second, people sometimes speak so fast. At the airport, the announcement sounded like a race, and I couldn't catch the words. Third, accents can be tricky. The worker's accent was different from the English I learned in school, and it made me feel lost. But here's the good news. These challenges are normal, and you can overcome them with simple steps. The key is to start small, use easy sentences, and keep trying, even if you feel nervous. Every word you say is a step forward. Let's talk about 3 essential phrases that saved me on my trip. These are so simple, even absolute beginners can use them. Number 1. Can you help me? This phrase is like a magic key. It's polite, short, and works in so many situations. I used it to ask for directions, find a bathroom, or even get help with my bags. Number 2, where is the... You can add any word like, where is the bus, or Where is the hotel? It's perfect for finding your way. Number 3. Thank you. This little phrase shows kindness and makes people smile. I said thank you every time someone helped me, and it felt so good. Try saying these phrases out loud right now. Can you help me? Where is the thank you? Feel how easy they are? These phrases are your travel buddies. Now, let me share a moment that felt like a huge victory. After the airport mix-up, I was hungry and went to a small cafe. I wanted to order a sandwich, but I was so nervous. What if they didn't understand me? I practiced in my head, took a deep breath, and said, "Can I have a sandwich, please?" My voice was quiet, but the waiter nodded, smiled, and brought me a delicious sandwich. I felt like I had won a prize. That moment showed me that speaking English, even just a little, can make things happen. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. You can have moments like this too. Every time you speak, you're getting stronger. Here's a simple tip to help you start. Practice these phrases every day. You don't need to be on a trip to get ready. Find a travel dialogue online, maybe a YouTube video or a podcast about traveling. Listen to how people say things like, "Can you help me?" or "Where is the train?" Repeat what you hear out loud. I used to listen to a travel podcast every morning while brushing my teeth. At first I didn't understand much, but I kept listening. Slowly, the words started to make sense. You can do this for just 10 minutes a day. It's like planting a seed that grows into confidence. Another tip is to stay calm when you make mistakes. Mistakes are okay. They're like little teachers that help you learn. When I said, "Where exit?" instead of "Where is the exit?" it was a mistake, but it still worked. The worker understood me, and I learned to add "is next time." Don't be afraid to mess up. If you say something wrong, just smile and try again. People will appreciate your effort. I remember laughing at myself after the airport moment, and it made me feel lighter. Smiling and staying calm helps you keep going, even when things feel hard. One more tip. Try recording yourself saying the phrases. Use your phone and say, "Can you help me?" or "Thank you." Then listen to how you sound. At first, I felt shy hearing my own voice, but it helped me notice how I said words. I got better at speaking clearly. You can also practice with a friend or even talk to yourself in a mirror. It's fun, and it makes you feel ready for real conversations. The more you practice, the less scary it feels to speak English abroad. Looking back, those first nervous words at the airport and cafe were the start of something big. They showed me I could do it, even if I wasn't perfect. You can do this too. Start with small phrases, practice every day, and don't let mistakes stop you. My first trip taught me so much, but you know what made it easier? Preparing at home before I left. That's what we'll talk about in the next chapter. How to get ready to speak English before your trip. Trust me, a little preparation can make a huge difference. So keep watching, and let's learn how to make your next adventure even better. Chapter 2. Preparing to speak English before you travel. In the last chapter, I shared how nervous I was speaking English for the first time at an airport and how small phrases helped me survive. But you know what made those moments easier? Getting ready before I left home. Preparing for my trip was like packing a suitcase full of confidence. It helped me feel less scared and more excited to speak English. Today, I'm sharing how I got ready, a funny story about practicing in front of a mirror, and simple tips to help you prepare for your next adventure. Whether you're dreaming of ordering food or asking for directions in English, these steps will make you feel ready. Let's get started and pack your English skills for travel. When I planned my first trip abroad, I knew I needed to speak English, but I was so nervous. What if I forgot the words? What if I couldn't understand anyone? To calm my fears, I decided to prepare at home. One of the first things I did was learn travel words. Words like hotel, ticket, bus, map, and restaurant were so important. I made a list of 10 travel words and practiced them every day. I wrote them on small pieces of paper, like flashcards, with the word on one side and the meaning on the other. For example, I wrote hotel and then a place to sleep. I'd look at the word, say it out loud, and try to remember it. Flashcards were so helpful because they made learning fun and easy. You can make your own flashcards or use an app like Quizlet. Just 10 minutes a day with flashcards can help you learn words you'll need on your trip. Another thing that helped me was practicing greetings. Simple phrases like, hello, good morning, and how are you are great for starting conversations. I practiced these by saying them to myself at home. I'd say, hello, how are you, while making breakfast or getting ready for the day. It felt a little silly at first, but it made me more comfortable saying them out loud. These greetings are like a friendly handshake. They make people feel good and help you start talking. Try practicing one greeting each day. Say it out loud, maybe while you're brushing your teeth or walking. It's such an easy way to build confidence before you travel. Now, let me tell you a funny story that still makes me laugh. I wanted to learn the phrase, how much is this? Because I knew I'd need it for shopping. So I stood in front of my mirror, practicing like I was in a store. I'd hold up a book or a cup and say, how much is this? Over and over. I felt so ready, but when I got to a real shop on my trip, I got nervous. Instead of, how much is this? I said, how this much is. The shopkeeper looked so confused, and I turned red. But then he smiled, showed me the price, and I laughed at myself. That mistake taught me that it's okay to mess up. People still understand you if you try. Plus, it's a story I'll never forget. You can practice phrases like this at home to avoid those funny mix-ups. One of the best ways to prepare is by watching English travel vlogs on YouTube. Travel vlogs are videos where people share their adventures, like exploring cities or trying new foods. I watched vlogs about places I wanted to visit, and I learned so much. I heard how people said things like, can I have the menu, 1 hour, or where's the train station? Hearing real conversations helped me get used to English in travel situations. Plus, vlogs are fun to watch. You can find vlogs about airports, hotels, or markets. Try watching one for 10 minutes a day with subtitles on. Repeat the phrases you hear like, I'd like a coffee, please. This will help you feel like you're already traveling and speaking English. Here's a tip that made a big difference for me. Set a small goal. I decided to learn 5 new travel words every day. For example, One day I learned luggage, passport, train, please, and sorry. It was a small goal, but it felt so good when I reached it. Every time I learned my 5 words, I gave myself a little cheer like, yes, I did it. Setting goals keeps you excited and shows you're making progress. You can start with 5 words a day or even 3 if that feels easier. Write them down, say them out loud, and use them in a sentence like, my luggage is heavy. Small goals add up, and before you know it, you'll have a suitcase full of words for your trip. Apps were also a big help for me. I used an app called Duolingo to practice travel phrases. It's free and has short lessons you can do anywhere. I did a lesson every morning, learning things like, where is the bathroom? Or, can you speak slowly? Apps like Duolingo or Memrise make learning feel like a game. You can practice for just 5 or 10 minutes a day, maybe while waiting for a bus or having a snack. These apps teach you words and phrases, and they let you hear how they sound. I felt so proud when I used a phrase from the app in real life, like asking for a ticket. Try downloading one of these apps and do a quick lesson each day. It's so easy and fun. Another tip is to make a travel word list. Sit down with a notebook and write 10 words you think you'll need on your trip. Maybe words like food, water, taxi, shop, help, time, money, thank you, please, and goodbye. Say them out loud and try using them in sentences. For example, I need a taxi, or thank you for the food. I carried my list with me on my trip, and it was like a little helper in my pocket. If I forgot a word, I could check my list. You can keep your list on your phone or in a small notebook. It's a simple way to feel prepared and ready to speak. Let me share one more tip. Enjoy the process. Preparing for your trip doesn't have to feel like hard work. Make it fun. Sing your travel words like a song, draw pictures next to your flashcards, or watch a vlog about a place you're excited to visit. When I was learning, I made my practice time fun by pretending I was already on my trip. I'd say, "Hello, can you help me?" to my cat, and it made me smile. Enjoying the process keeps you motivated and makes learning easier. So, try to have fun while you practice. It will make you excited to use English when you travel. Preparing at home gave me the courage to speak English on my trip. Those flashcards, apps, and vlogs helped me feel ready, even when I made mistakes like my "how this much is" mix-up. You can do this too. Start with a small list of words, practice greetings, watch travel vlogs, and set a tiny goal each day. These steps will fill your heart with confidence. And you know what? All that preparation led to some amazing, real conversations on my trip. That's what we'll talk about in the next chapter. How to take the leap and speak English in real travel moments. So, keep watching, and let's see how you can shine when you start talking. Chapter 3. Taking the Leap. Speaking English in real travel moments now. It's time to take that big step. Speaking English in real-life travel situations. Oh, let me tell you, it's both scary and exciting. I still remember my first time ordering coffee abroad and how nervous I was. Today, I'm sharing that story, a funny mistake that made me laugh, and 5 easy phrases to help you speak English while traveling. I'll also give you simple tips to make real conversations easier. Every word you say is a win. So let's jump in and learn how to shine in those travel moments. Picture this. I'm in a small, cozy cafe in a new country. My stomach is growling, and I really want a coffee, but my heart is racing because I have to speak English. I practiced phrases at home, but this is the real thing. I walked up to the counter, took a deep breath, and said, "Coffee, please." My voice was so quiet, I wasn't sure the barista heard me. But then, she smiled, nodded, and started making my coffee. When she handed it to me, I felt like I'd climbed a mountain. That moment was so small, but it felt huge. I realized I didn't need perfect English. Just a few words could make things happen. You can have moments like this too. Every time you speak, you're building confidence. Why do these small interactions matter so much? Because they show you that you can do it. Ordering food, asking for directions, or saying thank you might seem tiny, but each one is a step toward speaking English without fear. For beginners, these moments can feel scary because you worry about mistakes or not being understood. But here's the secret. Mistakes are totally okay. Let me share a funny story to prove it. One day I went to a restaurant and wanted to see the menu, but instead of saying, "Can I see the menu?" I said, "Can I see the food?" The waiter looked so confused, and I realized my mistake right away. My face turned red, but I laughed, and the waiter laughed too. He brought me the menu, and we both smiled. That mistake didn't stop me. It taught me to keep trying. Mistakes are just part of the journey, and they make great stories. Let's learn 5 easy phrases you can use in real travel moments. These are perfect for beginners because they're short and work in so many situations. Zrania. You can say, "Can I have a coffee?" or "Can I have a ticket?" It's so simple and useful. Number 2, how much? Use this when you're shopping or buying food, like how much is this shirt? Number 3, please. Adding please to any request, like can I have water please, makes you sound polite. Number 4, excuse me. This is great for getting someone's attention, like, excuse me, where is the bus? Number 5, I don't understand. If someone speaks too fast or you're confused, just say, I don't understand, and they'll try to help. Try saying these out loud now. Can I have? How much? Please. Excuse me. I don't understand. Feel how easy they are? These phrases are like your travel best friends. Here's a tip to make speaking easier. Use simple sentences. You don't need long, fancy sentences to be understood. Short sentences like, can I have water? Or, where is the hotel? Work perfectly. When I was in that cafe, coffee please was enough. Keep your words clear and simple, and you'll be amazed at how well people understand you. Another tip is to smile when you speak. A smile shows you're friendly, and it helps you feel less nervous. I smiled at the barista, and it made the moment feel warm and easy. Try smiling when you practice your phrases. It makes a big difference. Want to get better at speaking before your trip? Practice with a friend. Find someone who speaks a little English, or even someone who's learning like you. Take turns saying phrases like, can I have a ticket? Or, how much is this? I used to practice with my cousin, and we'd pretend to be in a restaurant or at an airport. It was fun, and it made me less scared to talk to strangers. If you don't have a friend to practice with, try recording yourself on your phone. Say your phrases like, "Excuse me, where's the bus?" and listen to how you sound. I did this a lot, and at first, I felt shy hearing my voice. But it helped me speak more clearly. You can also talk to yourself in a mirror. It's like having a practice partner who's always there. Here's another tip. Don't be afraid to go slow. When you're nervous, it's okay to pause and think before you speak. I used to take a deep breath before saying anything, and it helped me stay calm. If you're not sure what to say, just use one of your phrases like "please" or "I don't understand." People will appreciate that you're trying. And here's something to remember. Every conversation is a win. Even if you only say one word like "please," you're speaking English in a real moment. That's something to be proud of. When I ordered that coffee, I felt like a champion, even though it was just 2 words. You'll feel that way too, I promise. One more tip. Carry a small notebook or use your phone to write down your phrases. I had a little list with "can I have" and "how much" in my pocket. If I got nervous, I could check my list and feel ready. It was like having a tiny helper with me. You can do this too. Write down your 5 phrases and keep them handy. They'll give you courage when you need it. And don't forget to have fun. Speaking English abroad is like an adventure. Every time you try, you're exploring a new part of the language. Those first real conversations, like ordering coffee or asking for the menu, showed me I could do it. They weren't perfect, but they worked, and they made me so happy. You can have these moments too. Just start with simple phrases, smile, and keep trying. But you know what was tricky? Understanding what people said back to me. Sometimes their accents were so different, and they spoke so fast. That's what we'll talk about in the next chapter, how to improve your listening skills for travel. So keep watching, and let's learn how to understand English better on your next adventure. Chapter 4. Listening to English. While traveling. In the last chapter, we talked about taking the leap and speaking English in real travel moments, like ordering coffee or asking for directions. Those moments felt amazing, but you know what was hard for me? Understanding what people said back. Sometimes they spoke so fast or had accents I wasn't used to, and I felt lost. Today, I'm sharing a funny story about a mix-up at a train station, how I got better at listening, and simple tips to help you understand English while traveling. Listening is like a superpower. It helps you catch important words and feel more confident. So, let's dive in and learn how to make your ears ready for your next adventure. Let me take you back to my first trip abroad. I was at a busy train station trying to catch a train to the city. I needed to know which platform to go to, so I asked an employee, "Where is the train?" He answered, but oh my goodness, he spoke so fast. It sounded like a blur, and his accent was different from the English I'd heard before. I thought he said, "Go to the bathroom," but he actually said, "Go to the platform." I started walking toward the restroom, and then I realized my mistake. I laughed so hard, and luckily, I found the right platform in time. That moment taught me that listening can be tricky when you're traveling. but it's also a skill you can improve with practice. Why is listening so important when you travel? Because it helps you catch key words like gate, platform, next, or ticket. These words tell you where to go or what to do. But for beginners, listening is tough. People speak fast, and accents can sound so different. For example, the way someone says bus in one country might sound different in another. I felt confused at first, but I learned that you don't need to understand every word. If you catch just a few important words, you can figure out what's going on. Listening also helps you feel more confident when you speak, because you know what people are saying back. The good news? You can get better at listening before you even leave home. One of the best ways I improved my listening was by listening to travel podcasts. Podcasts are like radio shows you can play anytime, and there are so many about travel. I found one called Travel Tales that shared stories about exploring new places. They used words like hotel, flight, and map, which I needed for my trip. I listened for 10 minutes every day while eating breakfast or walking. At first, I didn't understand much, but I kept going. Slowly, I started catching words like departure and arrive. Listening to podcasts helped me get used to how people talk in real life. You can find travel podcasts on apps like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Pick one you like and listen for just 10 minutes a day. It's like training your ears for travel. Another great tip is to watch English travel videos on YouTube, especially with subtitles. Subtitles are words that appear on the screen, so you can read and listen at the same time. I watched vlogs where people showed their trips to markets, airports, or restaurants. They said things like, "This is the check-in desk," or "Here's the menu." I'd pause the video, repeat the phrases out loud, and try to copy how they sounded. For example, I practiced saying, "Can you show me the way?" Just like the person in the video. Subtitles helped me understand new words, and repeating them made me feel ready to hear them on my trip. Try watching a travel vlog for 10 minutes a day. Look for channels like Walter's World or The Travel Linguist. It's fun, and you'll learn so much. Here's a funny tip that worked for me. Repeat what you hear like a parrot. When I listened to a podcast or video, I'd pause and say the words out loud. For example, if someone said, "The train leaves at 5, I'd repeat, "The train leaves at 5. It felt a little silly, but it helped me get used to the sounds of English. It also made me better at catching words like time or gate in real conversations. You can do this while you're cooking, cleaning, or even walking. Just listen, pause, and repeat. It's like a game, and it makes your ears sharper for travel. Another tip is to focus on key words, not every word. When I was at the train station, I didn't understand everything the employee said, but I heard platform and a number. That was enough to get me to the right place. On your trip, listen for words like left, right, next, or stop. Even if you miss some words, these key ones will help you. I practiced this by listening to short clips and writing down the words I recognized. You can do this too. Listen to a podcast or video and write down 5 words you hear. It's a great way to train your ears to catch what matters. One more tip. Be patient with yourself. Listening to English, especially with new accents, takes time. When I first started, I felt frustrated because I couldn't understand everything. But I kept listening every day, and little by little, I got better. It's like learning to ride a bike. You fall a few times, but you keep going. If you don't understand something, that's okay. Just keep listening, and your brain will start to figure it out. I remember the moment I understood a full sentence in a podcast. The bus stops here. I was so proud. You'll have moments like that too. Just give yourself time and keep practicing. Listening practice made such a difference on my trip. After listening to podcasts and videos, I could catch words like platform and ticket more easily. It helped me feel less lost and more ready to talk to people. And you know what? Listening also helped me connect with locals in a special way. I started understanding their stories and feeling closer to them. That's what we'll talk about in the next chapter. How to use English to make friends and create unforgettable travel memories. So, keep watching, and let's learn how to connect with people on your next adventure. Chapter 6. Staying motivated to speak English on every trip. We've been on such a fun journey, from my nervous first words to connecting with locals using English. But let's be real. Speaking English while traveling isn't always easy. There are moments when you feel stuck or discouraged, and that's okay. Today, I'm sharing a story about a time I felt like giving up, a funny moment when I celebrated with ice cream, and simple tips to keep you excited about speaking English on every trip. Staying motivated is like keeping a fire burning. It takes a little effort, but it lights up your journey. Let's dive in and learn how to stay inspired, no matter what happens, so you can shine on every adventure. Let me take you back to my first big trip. I was starting to get the hang of speaking English, but then I had a confusing conversation that shook my confidence. I was at a market, trying to buy some fruit, and I asked, "How much is this?" The seller answered, but his words were so fast, and I didn't understand a thing. I tried saying, "I don't understand," but he kept talking, and I felt so lost. I walked away without the fruit, feeling sad and thinking, maybe I'm not good at this. Has that ever happened to you? Feeling like you're not improving? That moment was tough, but it taught me something important. Staying motivated is key. Even when things feel hard, you can keep going with small steps and a positive mindset. Why does motivation matter so much? Because learning English, especially for travel, is a long journey. Some days you feel like a star, like when you order food and get it right. Other days you might feel stuck, like I did at the market. Motivation is what keeps you trying, even after a bad day. It's like fuel for your car. Without it, you stop moving forward. The good news is, you can build motivation with fun and easy habits. One of my favorite ways was setting small goals. After that market moment, I decided to learn just one new phrase for my next trip. Can you speak slowly, please? That tiny goal gave me something to aim for, and when I used it later, I felt so proud. Small goals make the journey feel doable, and every step forward is a win. Let's talk about a funny moment that kept me going. After a few days of practicing, I finally had my first full conversation in English. I was at a small cafe, and I asked for a sandwich, said thank you, and even asked, "Where is the park?" The waiter understood everything, and we chatted for a minute. I was so excited that I treated myself to a big scoop of chocolate ice cream afterward. I sat in the sun, eating my ice cream, and thought, I did it. That celebration made me want to keep speaking English. You can do this too. Reward yourself after a conversation, even a small one. Maybe it's ice cream, a cookie, or watching your favorite show. Little rewards make learning feel like a party, and they keep you motivated to try again. One great way to stay motivated is to keep a travel journal in English. I started writing about my trip every day. Simple things like, I ordered coffee today, or I asked for directions. I used easy sentences, and sometimes I made mistakes, but that was okay. Writing helped me see my progress. I'd read my journal and think, wow, I said that in English. You can start a journal too. Use a notebook or your phone and write 1 or 2 sentences about your day. For example, I said hello to someone, or I learned the word ticket. It's fun, and it shows you how far you've come. Plus, it's a great way to practice writing in English, which helps your speaking too. Another tip is to join online English groups. There are so many people around the world learning English just like you. I found a group on Facebook called English for Beginners, where people shared tips and practiced together. I posted about my market mix-up, and others shared their stories too. It felt so good to know I wasn't alone. You can find groups on Facebook, Reddit, or even apps like Hello Talk. Try joining one and share a phrase you learned, like, "Can I have water?" You can also practice speaking with others in the group. It's like having a team cheering you on, and it makes learning more fun. Here's another way to stay motivated. Make learning a habit. I decided to practice English for 10 minutes every day, even when I wasn't traveling. I'd say my phrases, write in my journal, or watch a travel vlog. Those 10 minutes kept my excitement alive. You can do this too. Pick one thing, like saying, "How much is this?" or writing a sentence and do it every day. It's like brushing your teeth, a small habit that makes a big difference. And don't forget to be kind to yourself. If you have a tough day, like my market moment, it's okay. Take a break, do something fun, and come back stronger. I used to watch a funny English cartoon when I felt down, and it always cheered me up. One more tip. Think of every trip as a chance to grow. Each time you travel, you get to try new phrases, meet new people, and have new adventures. Even if you make mistakes, you're learning. I started seeing my trips as a game. Every word I said was a point, and every conversation was a big win. This mindset kept me excited to keep going. You can do this too. Before your next trip, tell yourself, "This is my chance to practice English and have fun." It changes how you feel and makes speaking less scary. Staying motivated helped me turn my nervous first words into confident conversations. That market moment felt hard, but setting goals, celebrating with ice cream, and writing in my journal kept me going. You can do this too. Set small goals, reward yourself, join online groups, and keep practicing every day. Every trip is a new chance to shine. And now, I want to hear from you. What keeps you motivated to learn English? Have you had a funny travel moment or a proud one? Share your stories with me. They inspire us all. What an amazing journey we've been on together. I hope my stories, from nervous airport moments to celebrating with ice cream, inspire you to speak English confidently on your next trip. Now, it's your turn. Have you ever tried speaking English while traveling? Maybe you had a funny mix-up or a proud moment like ordering food. What makes you nervous about speaking English? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and grow as a community. If you loved this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to 24/7 English, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson. Your support helps us keep this channel growing. Keep practicing, keep traveling, and keep shining. See you in the next video.